Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Push me on through until the battle's won.
Hey everyone, Carbonic Picking here, putting the curb of my name to use, and here to talk about something I found myself talking about quite a lot recently. The lore of the Kirby franchise. I've been wanting to expand my channel and try as many different topics I'm interested in as of late, and I feel as if I'll have a lot of fun talking about this specific topic, considering it's from one of my favorite franchises of all time. Now, if you've been in the Kirby loop at all the past few years, you'd probably have noticed the immense increase in talk about the background lore and how things all piece together, and that's because of the series' most recent entries tying a lot of games and loose ends together as of late, especially with the release of Star Allies in the past few months. Today I'm here to talk about much of the lore, but very specifically, the things that happen before the games. Most of the information given to us is detailed in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Kirby Trip Deluxe, Kirby Plant Robot, and Kirby Star Allies. However, some other games' information may or may not be sprinkled in. Due to how little is known of this time, some mild speculation about some events and some characters will go down. However, I won't throw around the most basis of claims, and will try to keep things as comprehensive and sensible as I can. I don't want this to turn into a game theory video. Now, before I get into this, I'd like to clarify something. The events of D Detour, Meta Nightmare's Return, and Guest Star from Star Allies are non-canon, as confirmed by a Miiverse interview that I can't find because, you know, Miiverse is kind of fucking dead. Back when that was still running, essentially. They are what-if scenarios. However, the things done in it, such as character capabilities, boss forms, and the lore and the pause descriptions, are completely canon, just never seen in the main adventure, or they just don't have the chance to be done, like, say, Stardream summoning dark matter. He has the data, it's just he never gets the chance to do it. I will, however, hold out on going over a specific character revealed at the end of Guest Star mode in Star Allies, as he is currently the biggest unknown in the franchise, and would only muddle things up even more, and possibly just lead to wild speculation. I'll talk about him whenever Star Allies is the topic, which will probably be the very tail end of this series. Now this is the only warning I'll give. Spoilers for the entire Kirby franchise coming up. Specifically the 4 games I mentioned earlier. If you still haven't experienced all the games, now is your chance to leave. However, if you have, or don't care about spoilers, you can stay. Now, this entire crazy train all starts millions of years before the events of even the first Kirby game. Around this time, a group of beings known as the Ancients existed, and there are 2 known subcategories of them, those of magic and those of technology. Those of magic include the Jambandran cult, seen in Star Allies, and those of technology would include the Halcondrians, seen in Return to Dreamland. The ones of technology, specifically the Halcondrians, have influences spreading far across the universe, and on many planets besides just Popstar, Kirby's homeworld. They've been specifically stated to have created many of the most powerful creations in the franchise. I will go over many of these in much greater detail when it's time to talk over them in their respective games. At the moment, I'll just name drop them and give small details. One of the most important creations was the Master Crown, the main point of conflict in Return to Dreamland, which is a crown of unlimited power. The Clockwork Stars, such as Nova, gargantuan mechanical creatures, I think, I don't know what the fuck they are, they're weird looking, with the capability to grant wishes. It's also heavily implied that they created the supercomputer and Clockwork Star, Stardream, as when Haltman, who I will go over very soon, found it, said it was left in an incomplete state. They also created Lore Starcutter, Maglore's ship, in Return to Dreamland, which is capable of multi-dimensional travel. They were also stated to have created mysterious items that can bring dreams to life, and countless other legendary weapons, which implies they may have been the ones to have created weapons such as the Star Rod, the Rainbow Sword, the Love Stick, the Triple Star, and so on. There are also other things that they implied to have had a hand in creating, such as the runes of rock stars, and if they truly did create the Star Rod, it would clue in that they would have created the Fountain of Dreams as well, seen in Superstar Ultra's Milky Way Wishes. Another connection between Nova and the Star Rod being created by the Ancients is the fact that Nova, in order to be found, you have to find the pieces of the different fountains across the different planets, and putting them all together summons Nova so we can grant a wish. That kind of just adds more evidence. I figured I'd add that in quickly. It was also believed that they created the Jambandra, which is where the Jambandran cult was banished to. And I will get to this in a second, don't worry. It's also heavily believed that they may have had a hand in creating the dimensional mirrors as well, unless they already existed, but this would make sense as they basically created everything in this universe, so them making up mirrors that go to alternate dimensions wouldn't be too far of a stretch. Now that I've gone over the technological side in such detail, I think it's about time to go over what's known of the magical side, and basically all we know of it is presented in Starlize. So far, the only true members we've seen are Lord Highness and his 3 mages, who we took in after taking in Zan Partizan. They are masters of a matter most dark, which heavily and very sensically implies that they worship and possibly even have some control over dark matter. Now, you may be wondering, since they're a cult, they must worship something specific than just dark matter, right? Well, yes, actually, they do. The deity of destruction, the Dark Lord, or God as they call it in Japanese, Void Termina. Void Termina is very rightfully and very understandably been slowly figured out to be the most likely cause for most of the issues in the Kirby franchise. It was initially sealed away by 4 warriors using the 4 spears of the Jamba Hut to seal it away. However, its influence by then was far-reaching. Void Termina is a creature reincarnated throughout the ages. However, we have only known of it reincarnating into the form we see in Starlight, the one using negative energy, which creates the omniversal chaotic god we fight in the game. However, it is stated that one day it would come back as a friend. However, in the meantime, instead of speculating about that, I'll talk about its current effect on the franchise. From it would have most likely spawned Zero, and from that, the entire dark matter race. This is clearly evident from the fact that its core is seen turning into a form very resembling of the dark matter race, its core the very essence of itself. However, its default face heavily resembles Kirby and his race, rising to the realization that Kirby's race and dark matter are linked, connected by a common ancestor like Void Termina, with it being possible that Void Termina being reincarnated as a friend could create Kirby's. But yet again, this is mild speculation. I will, however, touch on this theory, which has quite a bit of truth, if you ask me, when I get to the Starlight video. However, I'd like to keep things as comprehensive as possible, so this theorization is going to come to an end now. Another bit of evidence towards the dark matter and Void Termina relation is that Void Soul spits out creatures that resemble dark matter. However, this is lesser evidence than outright turning into dark matter in its final phase. However, its spawning dark matter isn't its only influence, although possibly its biggest and greatest, which I will explain shortly. Void Termina also has some sort of connection to the Master Crown, and if not it, its dark matter spawn most likely corrupted it. This is evident when Void Termina outright summons a gargantuan apparition of it and uses it to Toho your ass with fucking laser beams. From here, however, its connection to creating dark matter would result in its huge influence over the franchise, as dark matter corrupted the dimensional mirror, which would have resulted in it being corrupted, creating things such as Dark Mind, the Mirror World version of Zero, Dark King Deity, Dark Meta Knight, and this said mirror would also have further influences, as it would be found and given as a gift from Taranza, the Queen Zectonia, which would have set into motion the events of Kirby Triple Deluxe, which I'll touch on when I get to the said game. Not to mention all of Dark Matter's subsects and other things affected, but I'll save them each for their respective games. All you need to know at the moment is that dark matter has an extremely large influence throughout the entire series. Now, by this point, I feel as if I've gone to enough depth at the current moment of Void Termina and its threat, and its long-lasting effect on the series. So hopefully this would help give an idea of what Highness is, as the main worshipper of this being. Now, during Starlight, Highness gives a psychopathic monologue about his past, which happens in about 2 fucking seconds, but is actually multiple paragraphs long, explaining what he went through way back during the time of the Ancients. A galactic crisis occurred. Now, very little is mentioned about it, but it's still largely believed and agreed upon that this crisis was a Galactonite going rogue and going on a rampage. Galactonite is known as the greatest warrior in the galaxy, and he was sealed away for his power. He was introduced in Superstar Ultra. and is one of the only things we know of at that time that could have been such a crisis. Because if Void Termina was free, Highness certainly wouldn't help seal away as god. Not to mention that in guest star mode, Highness's summoning portal summons Galactonite, which would make sense, because if he sealed him, he would know how to unseal him. So, it's believed that Highness and his mages sealed away Galactonite, and after seeing the power they held, out of fear for said power, the ancients banished Highness and his cult to the edge of the galaxy, and attempted to erase their existence from history. This angers Highness to the point of fucking snapping. He goes absolutely insane. So, he sets out to revive his god, even finding a book of legend about Void Termina, which was believed to be a fairy tale, which helped him locate the Jamba Heart, which would lead to now, with Highness and his cult heading out to search for the Jamba Heart in an attempt to revive the Dark Lord, or God as they call him in Japanese. Now, that's enough about the ancients, I'd say, and now it's about time to go into one last thing before finishing up the video. I've already mentioned Tyranza and Queen Sectonia, and I'll go into more detail when I go to Triple Deluxe, so I'd say it's best to go over Haltman, and I did say I would come back to him. Both of the events I just named would have happened far into the future of the ancients, but still a ways before Kirby's games. Haltman Works Company would have been drifting in the universe, mechanizing planets for its company. During these travels, he finds the blueprints for Star Dream, unfinished mind you, the aforementioned wish-granting supercomputer. In his attempts to rebuild it, he ran numerous tests. However, one of these tests ended up unintentionally warping his daughter, Susanna, to another dimension, causing him to fall into a deep depression, believing his daughter to have been killed. Now, under the belief of his daughter's death, Haltman focused on the creation and advancement of Star Dream, with hope that it would be able to grant his wish of seeing his daughter one more time, abandoning even his own emotions and memories, which Star Dream absorbed to its control helmet. He would continue to travel the cosmos, and will be heard from again much later on in the franchise. So, at the moment, I believe I've covered all the loose threads and loose ends possible to have occurred before the games. Obviously there's some stuff I could touch on, but I feel it would be best to wait until its own specific game before going over them in more detail. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. After this part, the speculation will be kept to an absolute minimum, since some minor speculation was needed for this part. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope I can deliver you part 2 soon, which might most likely be the earlier games in the franchise. I can't specify like what game it'll stop at, but it starts with Dreamland 1, and will probably include up to at least Dreamland 3. I'm not sure where the cutoff point will be though. That is all. This is Carbonic Pikmin, signing out. There are so many other things that they are applied to have had a hand in, such as creating the runes of Rockstars. Rockstars? What the fuck am I saying? They also created Lore Starcutter, Maglore's ship in Return to Dreamland, which is capable of multi-dimensional travel. They were also stated to have created mysterious items that can bring dreams to life. Oh my god, I mixed up 2 different paragraphs. What is wrong with me? Oh my god. Would also have further influences, as it would be found and given as a gift from Tyranza, the Queen Sectonia, which would have set into motion the events of Triple. Are you fucking kidding me? I get the entire line done and fuck up Triple Deluxe? Am I retarded? Is something wrong with me? What the fuck?
And it's right there for me. The possibilities are never ending. I see it, I see